idea that they have that there's these abstract rules. You disconnect it from a care about people, and they'll sort of stand on their own, and that's where we look for righteousness. He doesn't want that. And let's note that in some circles that continues to this day. Okay? It does continue to this day. That is characteristic of Orthodox Judaism in our own time. They're kind of right where the Pharisees were on this. I discovered something the other week. Do you know that there's a wire, you have telephone poles and stuff? There's a wire that goes around, surrounding most of Manhattan. It's called an Eruv, E-R-U-V. And this is in Orthodox Judaism. And what it means is the wire serves as a kind of an extension of one's house. So everything so you got your house, right? You're not supposed to do stuff outside your house on the Sabbath, according to this teaching. But there's a way to get around that. They put a wire around this whole area, and that becomes, quote, a private domain, okay? Therefore, one can go out of one's house or apartment and carry keys and strollers and do all sorts of things that would be a violation of the Sabbath, but they're not because you're in the extended private domain. And so, this is real true stuff, okay? Every Thursday, there's a number of men who go around and scout out the line in case part of it has broken, because then it wouldn't actually serve that function, and they make sure that it's repaired before Sabbath. So then they're not sitting on the Sabbath to go out for a stroll with their stroller. This is, from our text, do you think Jesus would be very sympathetic to that kind of thinking? What I'm saying is, the putting off part here, you can see it pretty clearly. But what about the putting on? What about the putting on? What is the proper remembrance of the Sabbath? What is the proper remembrance for it under the Old Covenant? And then, in other words, what would Jesus have wanted right there and then before the crucifixion? And then we might also ask what carries through into the New Covenant and the Lord's Day when we now live. That's a challenging question. What is the putting on? Okay? And I'm going to close with this thought. While it may seem to us that our Orthodox Jewish neighbors have really missed the mark with respect to the fourth commandment. If you're following Jesus, you have to think that's missing the mark. Okay? At least with that, there is an attempt, maybe misguided, nonetheless an attempt to take it seriously. Whereas nowadays, in large measure, in Christian circles, there seems hardly any regard to remember the fourth commandment at all. The putting off, all right, well, yeah, we don't want to do that sort of stuff. But what is the putting off? Do we have any thought of what it means for us to remember the Sabbath day or the Lord's Day and to keep it holy? So maybe we're missing the mark in some measure when it comes to the putting on. There's a framework. There's the framework. Think about it. And we'll come back to it next time, unless you have other plans for your Sunday. We'll close with our hymn, 394.